Please bear with me. I have to do my speech on my iPhone this evening. My computer decided not to start up. I'm not really sure what's going on with it, but it won't even completely turn on. So I'm doing it on my iPhone. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place that we could hold and capture the bad guys? When I say bad guys, I mean the terrorists. Think back to 9/11 and the horrible tragedy of the event that was, and think about if we could have captured the person who was in charge of it before and prevented it. Well, that is what Guantanamo Bay military prison in Cuba is for, and Mr. President Trump's executive orders is to keep it open. Obama ran his campaign, and a large part of his campaign, on closing that prison for multiple reasons. A lot of it is the grim conditions of the prison. A lot of it is that we hold people after we capture them there.
I told you on your phone.
Ellie, I'm doing my speech. Please shut the door. I'm very sorry. The grim conditions, as I said, and the fact that we will capture and hold people there, but we don't charge them or do anything with them. There's no conviction, there's no trial, there's no process. They're just held there captive. And if you think, for us, one of our soldiers being held captive somewhere, in another country is very scary for not only us, but the family of that soldier and anybody involved. Mr. President Trump announced this during his State Union address. We use it to detain enemies that have been captured and be able to question them. And the goal in this is ultimately to keep our nation safe by doing so. President Trump stated that we have released hundreds and hundreds of terrorists from this prison during Obama's presidency that we've met back on the battlefield. So that is his mindset behind it, is if we've tried to shut the prison down or close it or not use it, and then we end up meeting those people back on the battlefield, we're not helping ourselves, we're not protecting our nations, we're not, doing what we need to be doing. Human rights people do say that it is a stain on any justice system to do this. They're against this because, again, we capture them, we hold them, and they sit there. And think about our soldiers being captured, held, and sitting somewhere. Just the thought of that should make your stomach turn, because who knows what happens. Although Mr. President Obama didn't close the prison down like he had planned to, he did release over 100 prisoners, and there are currently 41 prisoners there. They are ready for trial and have been cleared to be released, but the future for them is unknown. Who knows where they'll go when they leave, if they get to leave now because President Trump is keeping it open. Who knows what could happen to them when they leave. If they are linked to somebody like Osama bin Laden, then they're not going to last very long when they are released, because of the threat that he alone and his group of people, or soldiers, or whatever they are called, the threat that those people bring to our country, somebody like that wouldn't last. I mean, think about the discrimination against people of certain ethnicities, religions, races in today's world. People get scared just to go in certain places because terrorists do terrible things, like blow up a movie theater, run a plane through a building, things that normal people wouldn't even think about doing. But these people do them, and it makes us scared, and then it causes more racial, religion, ethnicity discrimination and issues in our nation. The goal of keeping this prison open is to protect our nation and keep our nation safe. Now, whether it's right or wrong to open or close it, or keep it open or close it, I should say, there are a lot of mixed feelings about that. Some people feel like it's wrong because of what I've already mentioned, holding somebody there, not doing anything with them. When a criminal goes to prison, there's a process, there's an arrest, there's a trial, there's court, there's a judge, there's a jury, there's this and that ultimately decides that person's fate. With this, the state's defense has 90 days to decide that person's fate. When I say that person, I mean the person that we capture to put in this prison. The state of defense has 90 days to decide. Are we going to take them to this prison and hold them and question them? Or are we going to do something else with them? That's really a big weight on somebody's shoulders and a big to-do. I mean, just deciding somebody's fate is just a heavy weight to put on somebody's shoulder. So the people that go to this prison or should go to this prison or are in this prison need to be people who truly deserve that. And like a criminal case, there's jury, there's judges, there's attorneys for people to help decide what somebody deserves. Are they guilty? Are they not guilty? We don't have this at this prison. We just have holding, interrogation, questioning, things like that. So it brings a lot of mixed feelings about if this is the right thing to do and if this is where prisoners, I suppose we will call them, should go. Ultimately, at the end of it, Mr. President Trump feels that this is the best place for these type of people to keep our nation safe. And we voted him into office. So supporting him and trusting that this is the best thing to keep our nation safe is all we can do at this point. Thank you.